Looks like I'm live and I didn't even realize it. Oh, hi. Tonight we are talking Vinegar Syndrome. And we're talking Scream Factory's uh, newest blockbuster out of print list announcement. So, yeah, we got a couple things to chat about tonight. And they should both be fun. Now, before I start, I just got finished talking with my kitty, my kitties, and let's let people know that we're here. So let's break the fourth wall. And hopefully you guys are going to be like nice and chatty tonight. We're on the 30th of the 31 Days of Horror. And I'm actually super stoked about that. So hey, PlayStation 9, you're welcome. Salute. You're welcome. I'm not to say hi. It's one of those nights. So let's do this. Hi there. I am live right now. Hey, Nethead. And we are getting ready to talk about the Scream Factory second dropped out of print list. And we're going to be talking about some Vinegar Syndrome. I actually watched 3 titles last night, and we're going to talk about them. See you in the movie club. See how this is like kind of as I do the same thing with my Instagram. Not always the easiest part is. Hi there, guys. So we are talking about the Scream Factory out of print list, and we're going to be talking about some Vinegar Syndrome titles tonight. And I will see you soon here in the movie club. Hey there. So you want to talk about the list first? Halloween 2, 4, 5, and 6. So let me bring it up because it actually this is something very important. Hey Shadow. So let me bring up the Scream Factory list. So we'll do that first because I know a lot of guys have been asking about that recently. And well, I got. Let's just say I got some text today. So this is the second Scream Factory list. I have a lot of the titles there. Thank God. There's a few that I don't, and some that have already gone out of print on Amazon. There's a couple that I really want, and I got to suck it to my better half in hopes to get at least 1 or 2 of these. So we'll see now in a second. You ready? Good evening. So here we go. As I go to the wrong thing. So this is a list of stuff that's I actually was bringing it up and I went down there, and I spoke to my youngest who just sent me a good night message. All right, so Blood and Lace is going out of print, which is an early slasher film. American Werewolf London is coming from Arrow. I'm not sure if Scream Factory is playing there yet. Right now, American Werewolf London here in North America, as far as I know, has only gotten like a regular like studio release. The Curse 2, The Bite double feature is actually going out of print. That is an amazing price. The Dark Half, which was just mentioned there, yeah, the Dark Half is going out of print. I recommend that one. Really, really good. Oh yeah, Kathy. Hey, Adrian. Really good like special features on the Dark Half, by the way. Demented is going out of print. I can see Demented going out of print, not just because it was one of their lower selling ones, I think. The next one I'm going to mention, I hope every one of you have, because if you don't have this should 110% be in your collection. No ifs, ands, or buts. This next movie should be in your collection. That is Dolls. Dolls is an incredible movie. Not only is that a really good movie, but the year that this came out, with everything else that was out, this was listed on my, in my top 10 of the year. This Dolls, the Scream Factory release of Dolls, was my number 1 pick. That was my number 1 choice for that year. So hopefully you got it. Jeepers Creepers and Jeepers Creepers 2 are going out of print. Way to go, Shadow. Let me know what you think. It's got some good features on there too. And also, notice, oh, nice and ready. You're going to be, I'm going to be talking about a couple of them. So, and I was pleasantly surprised with certain ones. More than I expected. Lady in White is a fantastic ghost story. If you haven't seen it, I strongly recommend it. It's really good. It's and it's definitely one of those you know, kind of like between ones where it's you can get like a bit of a younger audience for it too. Arrow's a collector set of dolls? I do not remember Arrow having a collector set of dolls actually, unless it's something recent. Okay, next up is a double feature that I really enjoyed. That is House Where Evil Dwells and Ghost Warrior. So there's a theme there. Did I already say that one? I feel like I said that one. Lord of Illusions, Clive Barker. That's going out of print. I definitely grabbed that one. Millennium Rotor, which is a cool cheesy double feature. That one's going out of print. Monkey Shines, which I'm guessing is the same. Yeah, that came at the same time as Dark Half actually. So kind of makes sense that they're going out of print at the same time. By the way, Monkey Shines and Dark Half are two good ones to have. There were ones I wasn't sure about getting at first. They were George Romero, but they weren't like zombie George Romero. But the features on both of those discs are amazing. Dark Half might have just a little bit better features, but both of them have like fantastic features. Yeah, Lord of Illusions, that one's going out too. I actually didn't realize that. Murders in the Rue Morgue, the Dunwich Horror double feature is going into print. The Nest, if you were a big fan of like insect horror and cockroach horror, stuff like that, The Nest is going out of print. And you like Canucksploitation. Pumpkinhead 2 is also going out of print. Sunny Boy, which is kind of is a fringe one. Some people love it, some people are iffy on it. That's going out of print. Two that I'm really worried about not getting, and one of them I know I'm not going to get because it's already not in print, is, well, Species 2, but Species 3 and 4 double feature, that's going to print as well, and here on Amazon.ca it already is out of print. And the last one is Squirm. So there are a lot of big titles, probably more big titles in this time around, in my opinion, than in the last one of like as some that you have to get. There's a lot of good titles here. I want Demented, I want Curse 2, but I want the Species ones. I want Species because I'm worried that's going to be on the next list. If Species 2 and Species 3 and 4 are on the list, unless Species came from a different company, maybe it did. I'm kind of worried that that's going to be in the next list. So let's get your messages up here because I'm missing some of your guys' stuff, and I do apologize, but I figured we'd get this part done first. And hello to everybody who I missed saying hello to while I was rambling out the list there. I have one coming. That should be here on Friday, not from this list, but from the first list. Squirm is a good one. I like Squirm. I don't have Squirm, I don't think, actually. Not on Arrow or not on this one either. I've been really enjoying the movies I've been watching over the over Halloween, actually, Halloween month. So, what did I watch last night? And I will go back to the Scream Factory list after. We'll talk a bit more about that. I watched The Berserker. I watched Beyond the Door 3. And I watched Unmasked Part 25. And I can even give you the order in which I like them. And before we even talk about it, I'll do that. So, which movie do you think rated highest out of those three films? They're all good films. I'll go out there and say that right now. But which film do you think rated harsh, or which film do you think rated lowest? Because I'm kind of curious. Which one do you think was, and with that being said, lowest doesn't mean bad. But which one do you think is in the number three spot? Want to see if you guys can guess. Beyond the Door, you think it's the lowest? Fry thinks it's gonna be Berserker. You're right, Adrian. Beyond the Door 3, again, cool film, kind of crazy. It's a little slower at parts, like surprising. What do you think's in second spot? Because what's in second spot is obviously gonna say what's going to be first. So what do you think is going to be number one? What do you think is the number one? Because I'm about to show you number two. Oh, Kathy, this was a really good bundle. I was surprised at how good this was. And this part here is going to surprise you. This is number two. The movie that I knew little about, was unsure of, was iffy about getting the set, getting it, because this movie was going to be bundled into it. No more surprise to me, Fry. Actually turned out to be kind of the winner of the night. Now, Berserker is an odd little film. I'm a mad, but without a box. That's a Doctor Who reference. This thing here, I did not think I was going to get into that much. Now, first off, one of the big things it has going for it, it has two extremely veteran character actors that I really like, and it has John Goff, and it has what's his name again? Buck, right? Yeah, George Buck Flowers is in this film. Their parts are largely, when they're acting together, it's largely improvised, and you wouldn't tell it because they're really freaking good. A lot of the other actors that acted in this movie didn't do much acting afterwards. Some of them went on to do certain other things, but very few of them actually stayed in the acting industry. Some of them stayed in the entertainment industry, but didn't keep on acting. What made this one so good or so entertaining? The music and the score. That's the good thing, that they were so good that you didn't notice it was improvised. That's quality actors. The music in this is incredibly fun. There is a few songs there, especially near the beginning of the film, and I think it's called "Cool Dude." That I want the soundtrack. I want the vinyl of this freaking movie, and I want "Cool Dude" on my I want to listen to "Cool Dude" when I go to work on my iPhone, as I'm walking to work. It's a cool song. You know what I'm talking about, right? But aside from that, the movie's fun. The movie's interesting. The movie's engaging, and it's so simple. Beth Toussaint is in this movie. She's the one that probably went farthest out of all the actresses and actors in the film. Aside from the veteran ones. Beth Toussaint was on Star Trek: The Next Generation. She did movies. Linda Hamilton is a gorgeous woman, but Beth Toussaint, she's pretty much known as she looks like Linda Hamilton, just even a bit better looking than Linda Hamilton. That was the best for you. It was okay. I mean, but that, and I'll get to why that was the least for me in a minute. Now, I did triple feature these. I watched all three of these. So, but the features on this one as well, aside from that, there are some great interviews. Really, really good interviews on here. There's a great interview on here with Shannon Enigman, one of the actresses, and there's the director interview is actually really, really good. I'm very surprised. I never in a million years expected this would be the movie that would top the singles list out of the three of them. Definitely give this a chance. It's way better than I expected it to be. And I love the ending. I called it. I called it. Uh, but near the end, because of what happens, it looks like that's not going to be the actual case. But then right at the end, there's that little twist, and I'm like, I really like what they did with that. I enjoyed the way they went with Berserker. Also, by the way, the bear in Berserker is the famous bear. I think he did like a big movie, like Gentle Ben or something like that. He was like a big movie. Now the next one, also an extremely good film, is Unmasked Part 25. Unmasked Part 25 is in so many ways better than I could ever imagine it to be. Jay Jackson is a masked killer. That'll be nice. Jackson is a masked killer who is going through an existential crisis and is tired of killing. But it seems to be his lot in life, even though he really doesn't want it to be. He's maudlin, he's depressed, and he can quote Shelley and Lord Byron. So he's very, very different of a character. The gore in this is actually really good, and there's actually an extremely gory scene at the beginning of the film. Now, for people that don't like gore, don't worry. The gore is there, but it's never anything that's Peter Jackson, like bad taste, over the top type of gore. But there's a cool like sequence at the beginning of it where he pretty much like takes this guy from behind and rips all the skin right off of his face, and then takes his hand and puts it from behind through the guy, and grabs his heart through the other side. Don't worry, I'm not going to give away too much, and really, but it is a fantastic little film. It's well acted, especially for what it is. And some of these people never went on to do much else, but I enjoyed it. I feel like the ending was there, but hey, Mug, welcome. But it kind of feels like they didn't exactly know where they were going to go totally with the ending. But that being said, I do appreciate where they decided to end it off and how they went with it. No, yeah, nothing like Wacko. This is a much smarter movie than people actually give something like this credit for. Yes, there's humor. Yes, there's some slightly silly stuff in here, but this is definitely not one of the silly, wackier, like satirical, like horror comedy films. This is way deeper than you think. You've got a guy that looks like the character of Jason, who is more reminiscent of a thinking man's Frankenstein monster when the mask is off. It was extremely well done. Last but not least is Beyond the Door 3, otherwise known as a muck train. Now, acting wise, this is probably, although there's like a couple like really decent actors in this, it's probably the least. Story wise, it's still probably the least. It's a fun ride, but its narrative is a bit all over the place and a little weak in the conclusion of the film. I still don't even I gotta get that one, Ken. Both those I gotta get. It's fun and the characters are pretty, but the lead actress, she's meant. I'm not sure if she's meant to be unlikable, but throughout the film, she's actually pretty harsh and pretty unlikable. There's a subplot with two people that don't get on the train and are trying to are desperately struggling to make it there. And I didn't like the way that ended. And there's a girl, I don't know what the actress' name, I can't even remember the character's name, a dark-haired girl in this one here. And she is, in my opinion, she's gorgeous. I don't know if she ever did anything else afterwards. But there's a really great interview on here that's worth having this disc for. There's a couple. But the Bo Svensson interview on this disc, yes, own it. Like, even if you watch this movie once or twice, it does look like Zool, the Dana from Zool. The Bo Svensson interview is incredibly good and entertaining. He's a very entertaining interviewee, and he tells some really great stories. And he's very, very, very active, very, very vibrant. He even like kind of like mimics certain people's in their acting, and he's very blunt and very honest. Definitely, like, am I sad I got this one? No. Yeah. Well, I watched this one a lot. It's probably not going to be one of my more watched Finger Cinemas. I'm not going to lie to you. It was a decent film, but it's not something I'm going to go back to the well to like too many times. I will, however, go back and watch the features on it again. I know that for sure. I know that I am going to take this one up when my better half comes home, and I will show her the Bo Svensson interview because I know she'll get a lot out of that, and it is so well done. She'll probably enjoy the film overall too. But surprisingly, when I got these here, when I started watching these, I thought of watching the Amityville films last night. That would have been 4 films, and I want like to do that over the space of a weekend when I can actually like really enjoy the films, or at least when I got 2 days off in a row. But I managed to get 3 of these in here. I did not expect that to be the order of how I like them. And number 1 and 2 definitely could kind of go back and forth. But there was just something particularly interesting about the Berserker when I watched. Maybe I didn't go in with high expectations for Berserker. I went with very low expectations for Berserker. But the between the music and the likability of the cast, and out of the 3 films, Berserker has the most likable cast. And that's, even including Unmasked Part 25, which a lot of people really do love. And I also really do love. If you go back, if you've watched all the films, I challenge you to, on this one, doesn't Berserker actually have pretty much the most likable cast out of all these films? And it does one thing that I really like. No, I thought about it, but I wanted to go in a different direction. I challenged myself. Those 3 films, Warlock, are completely different. And I wanted to do that. I wanted to do something that was going to be a bit more challenging, that was going to be a bit more unique. I love those Amityville films, but I have seen them. And I know that once I sit down and watch them, I'm going to enjoy watching them again. These were things that I either hadn't seen in years, or like Berserker, I really thought I'd seen, but I hadn't. But yeah, Berserker. Out of those 3, Berserker. Unmasked Part 25 is a close second, a very close second. Thank you, David, and welcome, dude. But Berserker had the most likable cast. And there's one thing in Berserker that I really enjoyed, and it stood out to me. There's a character at the beginning of Berserker who's is a jerk character who could go across. Remember in I know isn't that a great thing? Remember in like the Friday 13th remake when you had this guy and he was like his real ass, and you just waited for him to get killed. You knew he was going to get killed, type of thing. So Berserker has this character that starts out kind of like that, but he doesn't. But spoiler alert, it's not really a spoiler, but he doesn't end up like that. There's more depth to the character than I realized. And that surprised me. I appreciate that. As somebody that's wrote, as somebody that's been on both sides of, not the camera, I guess I've never acted. I acted plays now. But I really appreciate what they did with the characterization of that film. Like, I strongly appreciate what they did with the characterization of Berserker. Because he didn't have to. There's like a little kind of a cheesy movie made by a guy that would go on to produce in like a lot of like bigger movies. But no, they took the time to actually kind of flesh out the characters a bit. And that's always something I appreciate with these style of films. I always appreciate when the characters are more fleshed out and they don't seem like a trope, not just a trope. And the characters in Berserker. Actually, I have Dr. Butcher MD. I haven't seen it since VHS days. I think I got it here actually under another title. Uh, but I remember like the big box of it. It was a huge box, and it was like, and it had like this crazy cover on it. I have it here under another name. I can't remember what's the other name for Dr. Butcher MD. I always forget. But yeah, this this here was a great package. This is way better than I expected. It's much like I see this much in the same way that I did a package a couple years ago when they had the Roberta Finley ones there, and A Woman's Torment surprised me. I hadn't seen it before. I don't think Berserker is of like the quality of A Woman's Torment. Zombie Holocaust. Yeah, so I do have it over there. Yeah. Thanks. I totally forgot the name of it. But yeah, it's it's definitely another quality package from Vinegar Syndrome, and with the Amityvilles, it's a lock. It was a lock for me, and I'm glad. I was unsure, to be completely honest with you. I got them because I knew I wanted the Amityville set. I knew I hadn't seen Unmasked in years, uh, but I wasn't quite sure on this. I was iffy on getting the whole package. I thought about getting a couple, but and going with a couple other like Severance. But after watching that last night and looking at the features and the interviews and stuff that they put into this stuff, uh, yes, the 110%. I definitely made the right decision, and I'm very excited about what's coming up for Vinegar Syndrome for November, or like what we know so far. I know I definitely I have to have the Angel box set. I hope that it's done like the Amityville set in like kind of like unique packaging. I got to get Taming the T Rex in UHD. That's that's a gift. It's the first. It is the first. Like yes, Kino put out Hannibal and Synapse is putting his Suspiria down the road, but Taming the T Rex is for me the first exploitation, serious exploitation UHD that's coming out. Uh, that can, if it sells well, that can change things. I can honestly say, Ken, and I think you're going to know this before I finish the sentence. I shall not buy that film, and you know why. Uh, and it has nothing to do with the film, and it has very much to do with one person that's working on one of those exploitation movies. And you, not that I can tell, not like real exploitation movies. Like I mean, like there's more mainstream stuff like Halloween and Christine and films like that. Like here in North America, uh, from like an actual genre company. No, actually, like I think even Suspiria is a bigger film. You know, it's a bigger film. But my God, Taming the T Rex. If Vinegar Syndrome does well with this and it starts off like UHDs, then you know what happens, right? Then other companies are going to look at them and they're going to follow suit if they do well. Oh, they're going to have a Dark Force is going to have a discussion with Vinegar Syndrome soon. That that should go well with the stuff that they've said about Vinegar Syndrome. They they best go hand in hand for that discussion because he can flex all he wants. Uh, Vinegar Syndrome is a quality company that puts out stuff, whether you like all their stuff or not, that really works hard on their transfers and getting their stuff out there, and being uh, like good when it comes to working with people. Those are the ones I listed at the beginning. That is the other print. I'm going to get back to them actually, because I got a few of them. I'll get some of them out here that I got, and I'll show you. That way we can actually talk about the list. I do recommend, like if you've got a UHD or if you're going to be getting like If you got a 4K player and TV, if you're going to get a 4K player and TV, I do think that more so than Hannibal, more so than Suspiria, companies like Arrow and Scream, they'll look towards this. Vinegar Syndrome has been, since their inception, and especially over the last 2 to 3 years, they'll get there. But you have to understand, this was a movie that's the uncut version of it, Ken, has never been available before. For some people, this was a bit of a big deal, and it was a bit more of a chance, and I like that. That shows me something from that company, that they were willing to take that chance. And Vinegar Syndrome, much like AGFA, they're a restoration company. So if they said, okay, this is a movie that we can do UHD of, like a 4K UHD of, there's a reason for that, and we'll see it. And hopefully, there's a great reason behind it. It's going to. They're hoping this stands out, that this is going to be something that starts a section of UHDs. Barnes & Noble Criterion Sale will start this Friday. Oh, I cannot afford it yet, but that sounds amazing. That's way early, because usually the Criterion Sale usually goes in November. That would be way too early. You just love that Evil Town. Oh yeah, you can. I do all the time. PlayStation. I watch House of Wax. I'll watch Amazing Spider-Man 3D. 3D edition of it on my PSVR. You're missing some of my videos. I actually mentioned this stuff. That is super too early for the Criterion Sale. If it goes down for the whole month, that's fantastic. Because I might get a chance to get some. The only one that I really, there's a couple that I really want, but I guess, obviously the big one is Godzilla. Well, it'll be in November on Friday. And now the PlayStation 5 is coming out, and that is going to support 4K UHD discs, which the PlayStation 4 didn't. So that's exciting. So let me bring up that list again. And then I will go, if you don't mind, go over to my Screen Factories, and I will show you guys the ones on that list that I have, just in case there's certain ones on this list that you're kind of wondering about getting. I'll be able to answer the questions a bit. I can show you what the ones on this list that I have look like. So for you guys, I would do that because it's the 30th of the 31 Days of Horror. Let's have some fun with it. All right. So you ready to look at some of the going out of print Screen Factories? So here are some that are on the list. Yeah, from the new list. I'll show you the this stuff here first. So, it's Lord of Illusions, Clive Barker. This is a collector's edition. As you can see, it's one of the earlier ones because it has the blue banner on it. This is the alternate artwork for Lord of Illusions. This one is going out of print. And it does have some great features on here. The Lord of Illusions edition includes both the theatrical and the director's cut of the film. Yeah, they know they're going to get their money for it. There's a commentary by Clive Barker, some cool featurettes. There's a new interview with storyboard artist Martin Mercer on here as well. Definitely a very cool one. I like the artwork in that one. This is a must, guys. Right here, dolls. If you don't have dolls, get dolls. Put this on, you know, near the top of your getting this one. That's going on a print list. It has one of the most kick-ass covers Scream Factory ever put out. This is the original artwork for dolls, and for those that aren't quite aware, this actual scene here is from the girl, the actress that this scene actually is in. Well, she's the girl from Aha's Take On Me video. Yes, it's a girl from Take On Me, which I mentioned on the last time I talked about dolls. Feature-wise, it is loaded. It's really, really loaded. There's a ton of special features, and they're all great. The making of dolls, Ties of Terror, is incredible. Definitely do not miss out on that release. Okay, don't judge me. Dolls is much better. Dolls is a good movie. I like Trolls. I like Troll, but Troll 2 is it's cheesy, but Dolls is actually a good movie. It's a Stuart Gordon film. Stuart Gordon, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Stuart Gordon. And Stuart Gordon is actually a very good director. It's pre-Full Moon, before thing got silly. And I really like everything about that film, from its acting to the special effects in the film. There's actually a kind of a teddy bear sequence, fantasy sequence, which is actually really cool. Okay, now these I bought for extremely cheap when HMV was selling out, or I don't know. Morally, I may not have been able to get them, but if you're a person that can separate the art and artist, then this is Jeepers Creepers, and this is Jeepers Creepers 2. I honestly cannot tell you anything about the features on them, because any feature that had anything to do with Victor Salva, I have not watched. So that's just me. That's one person's opinion. I still own the films, so I no judge nobody. All right. Next are two again that I strongly recommend. These are good lists. I actually like the first one. I'm not. Yeah, obviously, I don't like the director. I don't like what he did. I don't think anybody does. Even people that like the movies, they're not like nobody who's watching Jeepers Creepers saying, "Well, I like this movie." Obviously, I like what the director did. No, they don't. And it's okay to enjoy the films and still not enjoy the director. Don't ever feel shame for stuff like that. Just feel it is horrible, but it is a good film. I seriously bought them like during the sale thing in hopes of them not getting much money. But they were, the first one was a decent film. The second one not so much. And I saw the third one on a streaming service, and it wasn't good. Stay away from it. The Dark Half. Honestly, it's a really fun film. You're going to get to see Michael Rooker in a rare good guy role. And there's a good interview with Michael Rooker about that, actually, that talks about about him playing a good guy and how hard that actually was for him to get that role. Also, Monkey Shines, which is another actually really fun film, with both of the behind the scenes on these featurettes, and these are incredible watches. And you'll probably watch, I have personally myself watched the behind the scenes featurettes on these at least 3 or 4 times each. They're really good. And it's a good way to get, like, the late Ramiro stuff. And that's not just zombie stuff. That shows just how good he was and just how much he could do with, with other stuff. Monkey Shines is underrated, actually. Monkey Shines, I had a couple of friends in high school that learned about a certain thing between a man and a woman through the movie Monkey Shines, which I'm not going to go any deeper into than that. But if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, not only is this kind of a cool, fun, kind of a little bit silly, but actually decent. And I think it's one that gets overlooked a lot and has one hell of a cover, double feature, and that is The House Where Evil Dwells Ghost Warrior. I thought this was a really fun one. I really did, actually. I like ghost stories. I like these type of films. I'll probably talk about this one in the near future. I do a review of it on one of my videos. But it was really good. And like cast-wise, it's incredible. You got like Doug McClure, Eddie Albert, and Susan George in The House Where Evil Dwells, which is super cool. And Janet Julian from Humongous is actually... Oh, have a great night, Kathy, and stay safe and charge everything. But I thought both of these were really fun. They're really easy to watch. They're both like, they're not, neither one of these are actually like super long films. Well, his son, actually, Eddie Albert's son. Edward Albert, or otherwise Eddie Albert Jr. As you can see, the cover is fantastic. Probably my least of all these films, but I had to have it because I'm a Conexploitation fanatic, and being a Conexploitation fanatic, you learn the Conexploitation scream queens, but pretty much by far and large, one of the biggest is a girl by the name of Lisa Langolis. Lisa Langolis was in movies like Deadly Eyes. She was in Class of 1984, and she's in the one I'm about to show you right now, which I can't watch on my own. I'm not going to lie, I'm a big wimp. I don't like insects, and that is The Nest. I actually found this one secondhand at a record store. And because I had Lisa Langolis, I had to have it. Last but not least of the ones that I have, anyway, and I really do think this is a great buy, and I think you'll enjoy it if you get it, is Lady in White. Now, there are two cuts of the film on here. There is the director's cut of the film, and there's an extended director's cut of the film as well. There's a young Lucas Haas, Catherine Hellman's in this movie. I really enjoyed this. And, three cuts, because the original theatrical cut is in there as well. So you get 3 cuts of this film. Now, does anybody remember how much the Vinegar Syndrome, cost? For that, so anybody that's already ordered the Vinegar Syndrome, November package, does anybody remember how much the November package cost when they did the pre-order, in October? Because I don't know, and I'm kind of wondering what it's going to cost me if I was to go for it. I'm trying to convince them I better have to let me get a Scream Factory on Friday. Well, there's still some in print, possibly 2. And to let you guys know, this is the second list. I personally think there's going to be a third list. I'm very nervous about certain films, especially MGM related films. We're not finished with the Scream Factory OPs. I'm just lucky that I have 9 from that recent list. And if everybody knows the price of the Vinegar Syndrome box, November package, please like say it up here and let me know. So the list has how many films? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 19. There's 10 that I actually don't have. It's 120 plus 10 upgrade for. Thank you, Kevin. I really got sucked about half then, don't I? Will that price be available still for Black Friday, the actual Black Friday day? Or do they take a couple dollars off if you pre-order? 115 plus. Thank you. Because I really do want that package. So what do I really want from this list that I don't have? Well, for me, Blood and Lace, I've wanted for a while. That's already gone out of stock. It's listed on Amazon CA. It's temporarily out of stock. The Curse and the Curse 2, although I have an MGM release of that, I really want to upgrade it. I know there's no features on it, but it's one that I kind of want. 10% off. Wow. I got to remember that. But out of everything, I guess Species 2, Squirm, I wouldn't mind having Squirm. Demented I really want. Isn't the coupon only for people that have like the, the package anyway, like the... And maybe Murders in... They're double features I find really good. I get a lot of like bang for my buck with the Scream Factory double features. I haven't found a double feature from Scream Factory yet that I didn't actually really enjoy. Like most of them don't have special features on them like the early ones did, but I always usually enjoy their double features. Does anybody have Murders in the Rue Morgue Dunwich Horror double feature? Because that I'm curious about. Thank you, Shadow. Because I was really curious about it. I was really wondering about that. You do. That's a really cool set. Did you get the Curse Collection PlayStation? I recommend it. Then you'll have all 7 of official, like, Amityville Horror releases. Obviously, there's no other official Amityville Horror film until, like, the remake was made, and then there was the one that came out after it. Definitely worth checking out, dude. It's gorgeous. I actually showed it on my last video yesterday. So check that out if you can, and at least check out that portion of it. And I go through. I actually look through all of them, and they are gorgeously done. It is a gorgeous set. I think eventually both sets are going to be gone. I have to get the Species film soon. Species 3 and 4 are out of print on Amazon CA. If anybody got Species 3 and 4 and found out they didn't like it and want to send it my way, feel free to do so. What do you guys think is the most important one to get? If you were to pick, like, okay, if you guys were to pick 3 out of this out of print list that you need to have in your collection, what's your top 3? What are 3 in the Scream Factory out of print list that I just listed off that you think absolutely everybody should have in their collection? And I'll just list them off one more time because I do want your opinion when it comes to this stuff, guys. I learn as much from you guys, probably more from you guys than you do from me, that's for sure. Because Lord knows I'm wrong a lot. Blood and Lace, Curse and Curse 2, double featured, The Dark Half, Demented, Dolls, House Where Evil Dwells, Ghost Warrior, double feature, Jeepers Creepers 2, Lady in White, Lord of Illusions, Millennium Rotor, Monkey Shines, Murders in the Rue Morgue, The Dunwich Horror, The Nest, Pumpkinhead 2, Sunny Boy, Species 2, and Species 3 and 4. And I saw some of you guys answered there, so I want to check your answers now. Oh yeah, there was like 4 of them. I think the last 2 were straight to DVD or straight to the Sci-Fi Channel. Hey Brian, another list from Scream Factory, eh? Dark Half of Monkey Shines. Or Blood and Lace. I really need that. My dad has that one actually. It's one that he actually like really likes. It is the Corman film. Julie Corman, I think, produced it. I like Pumpkinhead too. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. Species 2, Curse 2, Lord of Illusions. The Lady in White. Lady in White is a real. If you don't have that one, that's definitely a strong contender. I mean, like, there's 3 cuts of the film on there. That's pretty incredible, guys. You're gonna get the theatrical cut, the director's cut, and an extended director's cut. Pumpkinhead 2 has such great features on it as well, and I love Pumpkinhead, but Pumpkinhead 2 is not as much of a downer of a film, even though like something happens pretty harsh at the beginning. But I do like Pumpkinhead 2. It's a good list, but it's a bad list. It's a good list in that there's a lot of great films on it. It's a bad list in that those films are going to print. Now, there's certain ones, of course, that have like UK, counterparts that you may already have. You may not need to get one of these, but not every one of these has a UK counterpart. Things like Blood and Lace are ones that I don't see coming back into print, or not anytime in the near future, unless another company picks them up. And Blood and Lace isn't one of those that's Soleil Moon Frye. She grew up well. Is not one of those that I can see like a company just randomly picking up. I don't think it did super great for Scream Factory, and it's one of those kind of like fringe titles. Oh, that's like Sunny Boy. Yep, she actually started Punky Brewster when I was a kid. But did you see her since you grew up, William? I remember, God, it was like I was doing journalism at the time, and I used to get like People magazine. It was I used to read lots. I used to read like Playboy and People, and like I used to get every magazine or periodical that I could find. And there was like an article on her at the time, because when she matured well. Yeah, she is in a Prada remake actually. Not enough, unfortunately, because she was really good in it. So she ended up like, there's like, my journey for breast reduction, because she was having like serious medical issues. And I always remember that. Like, it was like, and it actually wasn't a bad article for People. People's a pretty light read a very light read of a magazine if you ever read it. But that article, and I remember like when Dark Shadows came back, there was an article on Dark Shadows, like the Return of Dark Shadows, that Brian Collins on the cover. So those 2 articles like stood out for me at the time. That's the second Prana one, the remix. Just in case you guys are wondering, she's not in the new Prana film, like the new one, like where they did the 3D one, but that's the Alexandra Aja one. She's actually in the Prana remake that was done for cable during the time that Roger Corman was doing all these remakes of his older films. He did Prana. He did a remake of Human Knives from the Deep. How to Make a Monster was very different from the original when he did a remake of that. It was Roger Corman Presents or Roger Corman Theater or something like that. But she was in that, and it actually was a really good one. I don't think she was in the new Pranas, right? Yeah, that's the thing. I can see like Arrow or somebody putting out, Lords of Illusions again. The Nest, not so much. So that's why I would get something like The Nest or Blood and Lace. So to hear that, Dan, hopefully your day, hopefully this is the worst day, so tomorrow is going to be awesome. Forever the optimist, right? But on serious note, so I hope things will work out better. The Nest is based on a pulp horror novel in the book Paper. I've been really wanting to read and Paperbacks from Hell. I read an interview with the writer of it, which I think was in Fangoria. I feel I've read it in Fangoria, and which I think should be fascinating. The Vinegar Syndrome bun was incredible. They've been killing it. But it's getting harder for me right now because I want to get the Vinegar Syndrome stuff. I know I need Angel. If I don't get the whole box, I'll get Angel and I'll get bundle. I'll get Angel and Tammy and the T-Rex at the very least. Uh, but I want some of the Scream Factory stuff before it goes to print. Well, I really do. I'm actually very nervous about certain ones going to print, and I'm not getting it. I already know I'm not going to get I'm Mad Man. I've resigned myself to, unfortunately, unless I come across it somewhere, I'm screwed with I'm Mad Man. I can't afford to get it from the U.S. And my only option would have been through through the other way. Oh, I would like to see that actually. Oh, actually, for this one, Ragman, well, the first list was put out by Down the Discs, and from Scream Factory. This list was actually put on Scream Factory's own like Facebook page. The list that are there. So if you go on Scream Factory's Facebook page, you're going to see a list of all the titles that are going out of print. And I don't think this is the end of it. I think we're going to, I think there's more. I think there's more that will go to print. That's what they're saying right now. Unfortunately, I see some of the when this happens, and lists are put out. I see things go to print faster than are expected. There's already some from the first list that I've actually gotten out of print. Amityville Trilogy, if you can find it, it's really good. But that's officially out of print now. The Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3, if you can find them, fantastic. They're officially out of print right now. So yeah, I'm super nervous about some of these because I missed out on I'm Mad Man. I really wanted I'm Mad Man. You have no idea how peeved I am about that one. And it's my own fault for waiting too long. So if there's something you really like, that is on this list that you really like, grab that one. At least find a top one or a top two that you can afford. You got the bones to afford it, and say, okay, this is one. Look at the list and say, okay, which of these here do I want this edition of, one, or do I not want to miss out on? Do I want to take it out of my library and watch? Prices will go up. Have you noticed like Robot Jocks Warlock after it went out of print on Amazon CA, like other people that bought it had went and they said, oh, look, here it is for $79. Screw you, $79. Definitely. I wish I had a cinema one where I was at and ready. I don't have any of that stuff here. This has got to be a great time for Scream Factory, like financial wise, and the fact that one, it's not good for all these movies going out of print, but it's got to be good for that it's making people rush to get some of these films. So that's a big one. I have one coming, and I'm actually very excited about this one, which I thought I wasn't going to get, and I will unbox that one here live Friday. So I'm actually looking forward to that, and I'll probably be watching it over the weekend too. So November the 1st, there'll be an unboxing. So be here for that one. But you kind of can't can't miss out on them. I guess if they're ones you really want. Do anything. Our pieces and them got grindhouse releasing are normally very expensive anyway. Like I spent like $40-something for like Maniac and $40-something for Zombie. No, actually I got Zombie for like 30, 38 I think. It was actually a pretty cool price for it. But some of them go up insane price. I'm not quite sure if pieces went out of print. I'm glad I got that one. I want to see if Demented is. God! Sorry. I'm not going to swear. I had Demented on here to pick up because I really wanted to check it out, and it was $19.99. It's awesomely tiring, but actually really enjoyed it. Really, thank you. Uh, and it's gone. So this just goes to show you how quickly some of these can go. Demented was on Amazon, and it's no longer there anymore. Let's just pick one at random. I'm going to pick Species 2, and I'll be really, really peeved if Species 2 is going to print on Amazon.ca, and I will kick butt. I will go and I'll be like the Jay and Silent Bob, and I'll go to the houses of people that bought it. Usually ships within 2 to 4 weeks. But $20 on the eBay one. I get iffy on eBay, to be honest with you. I'm very nervous about eBay because, huh? Please be. Oh, you're not from. This is what kills me. This is what I hate. I really wanted I really want Species parts 3 and 4, right? Let me show you the cover art. I think it's actually pretty cool. So somebody, one of my, oh, I don't like. I said, oh, it's 2611. Fantastic. Then I realized, wait, that's not being sold from Amazon. Then I looked closer too. It's 2611 plus $27 shipping. $27 shipping. You bloody scam artist. Yep. I'm so not a fan of that. So let's try, not cars, curse. Let's try the curse. I need to use my better half does a lot of this stuff, and we get like, I swear to God, if Curse is, oh, Curse and Curse 2 also out of stock. I'm not going to lie, guys, I'm pissed off right now. All of these were available today when I was at work. Every single one of them. Really? I'll ask my better half, because I'll be honest with you, I spend quite a bit of money, and she spends quite a bit on, for me as well. So when it comes to a purchase now, as it comes closer to Christmas, I definitely have to ask. I'm not above letting you know. I will ask permission first, and if she says we can't do it, because she's in Morocco, right? I will not do it. Shipping's what killed me on eBay too. I hate scalpers. I will tell you this right now. I'm not a scalper fan. I don't understand the scalper mentality of it, and I don't like troll like aspects of the internet. That's not me. Those are two things that really, really, really annoy me. Because scalpers prey on the good faith and want of other people. I understand wanting to make $1 or $2, that type of thing, and I do not begrudge anybody wanting to get ahead. I'll bet you a video. I can't get it though. That's the thing. Maybe I'll have. No, my cousin. I was going to say maybe I'll have my cousin check, but he's no longer there. I know, but isn't it exciting, Danny? Though, in a way, like even though I'm peeved at some titles there that I really wanted that I may not get. but it's still an extremely exciting time. I'll take a look on eBay, see if my better half will actually go for it. Usually, here's the thing. Usually, if it's on Amazon and it's at a decent price, we already have Amazon Prime, and Amazon Prime gives us free shipping. Shipping is always the key. This is a killer part here in Canada. If anybody that's here that's Canadian, Warlock or Unready, people like that, you know what I'm talking about. The shipping kills us all the time. Thanks for coming in, PlayStation. You were number one this time around, and thanks a lot. Uh, yeah, it is insane, like the pricing, like it is for us here in Canada, shipping wise. Like Kino used to be one of the best places to go and get, like, you buy $100 worth of stuff, you get free shipping, fantastic. It would come in at a fairly decent click. But now Kino shipping's gotten expensive for us as well. It's like over $25, like, to get shipping done here from Kino. I did discover that was one of my problems. Probably, Kubrick, probably. I'd say, well, I don't know if they watch my channel, but the watch channel is probably more popular than mine to find out some of this stuff. I was down on myself. Why do is that a Canadian? That's a Canadian thing, right? That you're always down on yourself. I can never just like take the credit for, oh, this is good. I think it's a Canadian thing. Warlock, I would take you up on that if Finn was home right now. Uh, Now, once Finn gets back, if there's something there, then I will contact you. They're such a great place too. Such a nice people at Bay Street Video. If you're in the Toronto area, make sure you go check them out. We have to support like brick and mortar places that do the stuff. It's really important. Well, I'll have one anyway from the last list that I wanted. I have to check if the other one I wanted is still available. Because if it's not, you're going to see some crying here. And you're still there. Okay. I can't say it out loud, unfortunately, because everything that I say goes away. Oh. All right. So I guess at 68 minutes, almost 70 minutes, we'll end this one for tonight. Because this is one that I did later in the day. I got to talk to my kids tonight, and I got to talk to my better half. Bay Street is a great place for hidden gems. Like an amazing place for that. And I cannot wait to go back to Ontario to go there again. And hopefully, the next time I go there, I'll have as much saved up as I did last time so that I can do a Bay Street haul like I did before. Warlock, I'm sure you know. You know somebody that worked there, so you know exactly, probably around the amount that I spent at Bay Street the last time I was there. So I'm sure they'll be glad to see me coming again. All right. $80. Down to 6. See, sometimes waiting helps. All right. I never have actually. It's the times when you're gotta. You don't want to be a bother type of thing at times as well. But so I never have. it's a thought for the future, but as of yet, it's not something that I really did. I think once a long time ago I did, uh, but I always like don't want to. I think it might be a Canadian thing, where it's like, and I actually do. I'm not even joking, where you're always concerned that you're going to put somebody out or put somebody in an awkward position, type of thing. Like I have a Patreon, guys, and I don't know if you notice this or not, but most people that have one of those can confidently talk about, go check out my Patreon page if you want to support, blah, 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 all that type of stuff. I am an awkward bunny every time I have to talk about that. Almost done. Dungeon Studio came right at the end, but I am at the end. I'm not sure if you noticed that or not, but I think it is. It's for me. I'm maybe it's a me thing. Maybe it's just a me thing, Brian. Maybe it's just a me thing. Speaking of a me thing, I need tea because my voice is going. I always look for. I'm always looking whenever I see somebody like mention something online. I always look around just in case I find it. Uh, I don't know, to be totally honest with you, Mug. I had originally planned to like talk about one or two of these and leave one for the final day. So, yeah, I've never been a bit. It's a passion for me. I think. I love films, and I hopefully that shows. I love movies, and I actually just really enjoy like talking to you guys, having someone to talk with films about, and learning a lot of stuff from you guys as well. So, more normal tagline. Thank you to my patrons out there. Love that. You guys are awesome. I'm Aaron. This is my movie library. You guys are the movie club. You guys rock. Thank you for making this video so awesome. You guys really, really, in all seriousness, it's been a lonely month for me. I've been missing my better half, and you guys have made that much more palatable. If you can find me a copy by Madman, and I'm Aaron. I am, and I'm tired. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. I will see you tomorrow for, it'll be it, guys, the 31st live day of horror. That's, hopefully, if everything goes okay, we will have done it. We will have done 31 live days of horror. Ciao.